Love and YouTube might have more in common than you think. How often should I upload on YouTube? How much should I be experimenting, changing things up? Do I really need to learn how the algorithm works? When I hear these questions, I understand where they're coming from. We all want to grow, we all want to do things the correct way, but the more and more I've created for this platform, I've studied this platform, focusing on those questions, it's not the right way to look at it. For those of you I haven't met yet, I'm Eric Wen, and on this channel we talk about communication and self-awareness. Creating on YouTube takes a lot of thoughtfulness, and I want to help you think about what you say and how you say it so that you can make a better impact. Imagine if your best friend came up to you and asked, how often should I be showing up, hanging out, connecting with my wife? Should I be sticking to what I was doing before? She's really into rock climbing. Does that mean I need to learn how to rock climb? How much should I be dressing up when we hang out or go on dates? You see how that approach is ridiculous? If that's your approach, if that's your mindset, you're never gonna find the correct or perfect answers, because it's not actually about the rock climbing, the dressing up, how many times a week you hang out with that person. At the end of the day, creating on YouTube, growing on YouTube, it's all about connection. And that connection you foster with your audience, that you care about, that you invest in, that should be informing how often you upload, how much you experiment, keep things fresh, how much you prioritize learning the algorithm, growing with that special person, for that special person, and it's going to evolve a lot over time. It's all about clarifying your type of connection and how much connection you choose to have with your relationship. There's 5 things we as humans do with our important relationships that actually can help us find answers to what we should be doing with our YouTube channel. Let's take a look and see what we can learn. The first thing we focus on with our meaningful relationships is learning how to express ourselves. How can you communicate who you are well and in a way that's conducive to connection? On YouTube, it takes time, practice to talk in front of a camera, vlog in public. How specifically do you communicate your story, values, passions? Sometimes two people in a relationship are actually very different. They see things differently. They have different backstory. So you have to learn who they are and fill in the gaps for them. When I first started my YouTube channel, it took a lot of tries, 20, 30, 40, 50 different videos before I got comfortable in front of the camera. Before I started realizing, oh, I'm quite introverted. I like analyzing things. I like breaking things down. I like encouraging people. Self-awareness and connection and family is really important to me. Just like on a first date, you can't just list off your whole life story, go, oh, these are my emotional struggles and burdens, and this is everything. I've covered it all. This is the comprehensive list of who I am. Do you get me now? Did you understand all of that? Of course not. It takes time, practice to learn how to express yourself, build that trust, connection, interest with that other special person. So in this context, how often should you be uploading, opening up to your audience, experimenting with your story? Whatever makes sense to you, whatever you're comfortable with. But the more you practice, upload, get comfortable with your voice, the easier it's gonna be for you to connect with your audience, which is gonna translate to views, shares, and subscribes. The second thing we naturally do in relationships is learn how to show up. Yes, you have work, other responsibilities. You don't want your entire life to be consumed by one person or by your YouTube channel, but you shouldn't be thinking about the minimum amount of time you need to show up to just appease the other person, to have some connection with that other person. You should be thinking about what's practical, healthy for you and your boundaries, your schedule, yes, but also try to find ways to show up in consistent ways, in meaningful ways, to show them they're a priority in your life. Maybe it's like a long distance relationship and just showing up one time a month is really meaningful and shows how much you're prioritizing the other person. Or maybe it's 4 times a week. This is something I struggle with this YouTube channel. In terms of the connection that's already here and the interest around this channel and the amount of problems, questions I'd like to work on together with you, there's so much excitement here, which I think actually warrants showing up 3 to 4 times a week on this YouTube channel. I want to help you with more things, share more of my story, and get better as a storyteller. So behind the scenes, I'm working on different things, practicing different things, experimenting with different things, so I can find a way to show up more to this audience that I care about. Just like it's not realistic, sustainable to have a big over-the-top explosive date 4 times a week. I need to think of new styles, formats, ways I can communicate myself, prioritize this connection. It's not the right approach to be thinking, oh, I upload once a week, they should be happy, that's enough, why am I not growing? I'm assessing my boundaries, my bandwidth, how much of a priority this YouTube channel is for me specifically, and I want to change my behavior accordingly. See how it's not actually about the number of uploads, but instead about the connection and what you're specifically building with that other person? The third thing we like prioritizing in our relationships is keeping things fresh, experimenting, mixing things up. In the beginning, when you first start your YouTube channel, you should be experimenting a lot so that you can figure out your voice, how to express yourself. If you're trying something super random, just like with your first couple dates, you might want to give them some context. You might want to explain why this thing is cool to you. But in this case, the experiments are for you to be more you and for them to know what they're signing up for. I remember it was my 5th YouTube video where I felt really trapped just showing my day, showing my week, vlogging. And so I decided to experiment, try breaking down a question that caught my attention, that made me think in a video that deviation was one of the most important experiments that defined what this YouTube channel is right now. That being said, even when you have more experience, are better at making videos, you should still be experimenting a lot. Just like in a relationship, the more videos you make, the more dates you go on, you're gonna start knowing, connecting, caring about your audience a little differently. Last week's video was outside. I don't normally film outside. Usually I share my analogies, my diagrams on paper with cutouts, but I think you've seen I've also tried using the whiteboard or drawing, making diagrams in Photoshop. These experiments aren't because I feel trapped or desperate. It's because I love what I do, I care about who I'm talking to, and I want this connection to keep growing. Don't feel obligated to experiment. Let connection, your care for your audience, drive your eagerness to keep things fresh. The fourth important thing we do in our relationships is figure out what the essentials are. A lot of the experiments I've done with this YouTube channel have been uncomfortable. Some have succeeded, some have failed. But the main goal with all of these tests was to figure out what is essential for connection and what is not. I talk about these lessons more in this video, but the scariest experiment I've tried on this YouTube channel was when I forced myself to do a take 1 vlog, meaning I had to upload my first take and I couldn't edit anything out, even if I paused, stuttered, lost my train of thought, made a huge mistake. That was terrifying to upload, but fundamentally forever changed this channel for the better. The fact that that video was able to encourage, resonate, connect with hundreds of people and actually inspired 20 to 30 other videos from other creators. Tests like that, experiments like that have taught me so much about what the essentials are and what the essentials are not. You're not gonna derail the mission of your YouTube channel if you have a bad take, if you don't have the perfect lighting and editing. It's not the fancy clothes or dates that keep a relationship going, but the amount of quality time, effort you put into a relationship, that definitely affects things. Last week, I uploaded a 27-minute video. It wasn't flashy, but it connected with a lot of you guys. It still worked. Make more videos, take more risks, so you can hone your instincts on what's essential for connection. The final important thing we do in our relationships is always figure out how we can be better. All this stuff about analytics, the algorithm, thumbnails, titles, I get how that's not the right fit for everyone. I get that it's hard and confusing and frustrating. But the thing is, if connection is your top priority, if this is a long-term thing you're investing in, you're going to make it happen. You're going to figure it out. Is it extra effort to dress up for your dates? Yes, but if you're motivated in the right ways, you're gonna do it. Maybe rock climbing or the algorithm is outside your area of expertise, but if it's meaningful for that other person and the connection you're trying to build together, you're going to make it happen. And actually, you'll probably have a good attitude about it because you'll know why that hard thing is worth it. When you ask how often you need to upload, how long your videos need to be, if you need to learn the algorithm, if you need to improve your titles and thumbnails, what you're really asking is, how much hard work and sacrifice do I need to make? You don't need to do a lot of things. No one's forcing you to do anything with your content. There's lots of different ways to succeed on this platform. The real question you should be asking yourself is, do you know who you're fighting for? Do you know why you're sacrificing, why you're putting in this hard work? And are you doing those things in a way that's healthy, selfless, and sustainable? Thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you could share this video with just one person who needs to see it today, that would be fantastic. If all goes well, a mini-series breaking down thumbnail strategy is right around the corner, so you're gonna wanna hit that subscribe and notification bell if you haven't yet already. If you're new to the channel and want help standing out as a small YouTuber, you're gonna wanna click these videos right here. You are the change maker of your own life. Let's think more deeply. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace. Bye.